I know you mean well. I know you're just trying to help, but you're just making things worse. You're trying to solve a problem that just doesn't exist. I'm talking, of course, about all of you fucking idiots who have ever bought one of these cooling fans for a game console. I guess I'm one of those fucking idiots because I bought 2 of them for this video. These used to be more popular in the Xbox 360 days. That console had a 54% failure rate, so overheating was a genuine concern. Back then, it was called the intercooler. It was marketed towards people who were terrified of the red ring of death, or people who had a previous Xbox die and didn't want the new one to suffer the same fate. It was just a set of fans that you snap onto the back of the console to, I guess, suck air out of the console. None of the documentation says which direction the air flows, but it goes right over the outtake fans. Let's say you're in your room and it's really hot and you have access to 2 fans. How would you position these 2 fans? Would you put them side by side? Well, by the intercooler's logic, you should place one fan directly in front of the other fan to create one super fan, because that's how fans work. Your game console already has a fan in it. What's slapping another fan on top of that fan gonna do? Make it go faster? You can still buy these garbage cooling fans for modern consoles. Amazon is littered with them, it's ridiculous. What makes a little bit more sense is to have a fan push cool air into the console. Most of these consoles don't have intake fans, only outtake fans. There are third-party fans that do just that. The 2 that I bought for this video work that way. But it still doesn't make any sense to buy one of these. You may think that blowing air onto something makes it colder, but that's just not the case. It works for us humans because we're 80% water, and blowing air onto water makes it evaporate, causing that surface to cool down, which is what makes us feel colder when we have air blown onto us. Expect actual scientists to go into the comments and correct everything I just said, but that's just the layman's version of what's happening. My point is that that's not how computers cool down. Inside of a computer, all you're doing is just pushing air around, which, when done right, is essential for the damn thing to work. You want room temperature air to get in one side and hot air from the CPU to be blown out the opposite end. These consoles are purposely built with this in mind. They're built for air to flow through them. The room temperature air is going to get to where it needs to be no matter what. All you're doing with one of these fans is pushing air in faster, which isn't always necessary. The Switch is a curious case. Air flows in through the bottom and gets thrown out the top through its CPU fan. It's very compact in there, so there's not a lot of room for air to be moved around. The dock doesn't help much either. There are slits in the back of the dock that allow the system to breathe, but 1/2 of the slit is behind the dock's components, which get hot themselves, and the other half is hidden away behind the door of the dock. It's not the best for airflow. Shoving one of these fans on the top pushes air from the top down to where those intakes are. Then, in theory, in through the intake vents and out again through the top. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, a solution to a problem that actually exists. Don't get ahead of yourself. 1, I'm not too sure how I feel about those intake fans being so close to that outtake fan. 2, if this is a concern to you, just get a different dock. One that doesn't block the intake vents, or just rip the door off your dock. And 3, and this is true for all gaming consoles, your console doesn't have an overheating problem unless it impedes your gameplay. Your console's going to get hot. That's normal. It's not a problem until it prevents your console from working. And if it does start acting weird, send it in to get fixed. It's not supposed to be that hot. And don't be like, oh, my game took an extra second to load, must be overheating. That's not overheating. Overheating is when the system stops working entirely, or the graphics get really weird. It's extremely noticeable. You'll know when it's overheating. It's not like a home-built PC or something. These consoles are designed to work in every household situation. Now, there are some common sense things you could do to help your console out a little bit. Like, for example, make sure your console is in a well-ventilated area. Don't lock it away inside of an entertainment center or something. Don't leave it on top of your cable box, which expels heat from the top. Don't leave it right next to your heater. Don't place your consoles too close to each other, blocking the intake vents.
I talked about this stand in a previous video. It's a monitor stand and it has nice little air vents in it so that my Xbox doesn't stand on top of my PS4. suffocating it, and it's got a lot of room to breathe in and out. Focus. There we go.
Here's a map of how air flows on every console. But generally speaking, you should leave a little bit of room on all sides of your console. But that's it. That's the best you can do to prevent overheating. Don't buy one of these stupid things. They're designed to prey off of the fear that your console is going to overheat. If you're smart, they're not going to. And if they do overheat, despite everything we just said, then these stupid fans wouldn't have done anything anyway. You had a faulty console, or you're actually an idiot and you left it in the toaster oven for too long. So what do you guys think about these cooling fan peripherals? Have you ever considered getting one? Do you have one right now? And are you gonna yell at me in the comments about how great they are even though you don't know if they do anything? Leave it down there. Add me on Twitter, all of this other social media garbage. We have a new schedule that I pinned over in a tweet on the Wulff Den Twitter. Not much changes, really, it's just the Twitch streams. All of the YouTube stuff's staying the same, except the backlog is out of season right now, so that'll come back soon. Also, check out Wulff Den Live this week at 9 p.m. Eastern time, because we're gonna be giving away some Switch accessories, and you'll find out why I'm not in my normal place right now. Thank you to our Twitch subscribers and YouTube sponsors who get special perks for videos like this. But of course, the most important things that you can do is subscribe and share this video with a friend who has ever bought one of these dumbass things, or maybe wanted to get one. Maybe his stuff overheats a lot, he breaks all of his consoles for some reason, because maybe he was considering getting one of these things and he would be an idiot. Thank you guys very much. You have yourselves a very good week. I am in Silhouette.